Now, regardless of how beautiful your aquarium is, and regardless of the type of fish that you have in your aquarium, there are a whole bunch of things that you should and shouldn't do. And what I'm going to do in this video is just outline 10 things that you must know regardless of the sorts of fish that you keep or how good your aquarium is. Now, point number one, I'm going to say, do not wash your filter material with tap water. Regardless of how good your filter is, it's going to have space for good bacteria to grow. Now, this stuff here is called Marine Pure. It's the best biological media, in my opinion, offering parallel nitrifying and denitrifying bacteria. But this bacteria must be allowed to thrive. If you go and wash this bacteria in tap water, the tap water may contain chlorine and chloromones and various things which will actually kill the good bacteria in the filter. Then if there's no good bacteria in the filter, then the waste will be able to build up in the aquarium, causing non-stop overall problems. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is overfeeding. Underfeeding is obviously an issue, but it's rare. So if you look at the belly of your fish and you see that it's pitted, then the fish have been underfed. But the main problem is overfeeding. So overfeeding is a short-term problem. Underfeeding tends to be more of a long-term problem. The first thing I want to do is select a good quality fish food, such as New Life Spectrum, Thera A basically being the best of them. And then I will feed the fish approximately what they eat in 30 seconds, ensuring that all the food gets eaten after 30 seconds. And then I'll feed them about 5 times a week. And over a period of 3 weeks, I'll look at their belly. If I notice them getting skinny, I'll feed them a bit more. If I notice them getting fat, I'll feed them a bit less. And I'll look for the difference in about 3 weeks. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is surface agitation. So you must make sure that the top of your aquarium is well agitated. So something like this, what that will do is blow water across the surface of the aquarium, allowing surface agitation. So what I want is, I want to see the surface getting broken. Where's a good example of that? What I don't want to see is the surface being flat. So where there's good agitation in the surface, what that does is break the surface tension and allow gas to exchange. So the filter outlet must be agitating the surface very well, and any power head that you have in the aquarium must be agitating the surface very well, because the surface breaking is paramount to ensuring that you have good oxygen in your aquarium. The next thing I want to talk about is water changes. I believe in stabilizing your aquarium. Therefore, I don't want to do monster water changes. I think a 1/4 water change is generally adequate. If you go doing 50%ers and the water temperature or pH of the new water is different to the old water, which can very easily be the case, then you're going to shock your fish. And I've seen more trouble with people changing too much water than not enough water. Watching pH and temperature in the new water is obviously critical. If you do get everything right with the new water, you can do a large water change. But doing large unmonitored water changes is definitely a reason that people come in with dead fish. So it's better to change a little bit of water often than it is to change a lot at once. And I use gravel cleaners, so I'll use a gravel cleaner in the gravel. And if the water that I'm pulling out of the gravel is not terribly dirty, then I won't bother doing a water change for a while. If the water coming out of the gravel is like pitch black, then I'll try and change the water more often. So point number 4 would be, do not change water too much. The next point would be adding too many fish at once. Now, it's very easy to come down the aquarium shop, get pretty keen, and buy too many fish. If you buy too many fish for your aquarium will not have enough good bacteria in your filter to break the waste down from the new fish, and Mother Nature will knock some of your fish off. So not adding too many fish at once. So understanding how many fish you can add in your aquarium at once is very important, and then making sure you don't add too many. otherwise you'll shock your bacteria. And there are various bacteria products on the market, and these bacteria products will just help ensure you grow the good bacteria, because you're pretty much hoping the bacteria grows. Just like you might hope that grass grows, it should grow, it usually does grow, but sometimes it doesn't grow as quick as you want. So those sorts of bacteria seeders are a good idea. Now, point number 6 would be don't add fish too often. If you have a saltwater aquarium, I would usually recommend adding a few fish, wait a full month, then add a few more fish, add a full month. If you're having a freshwater aquarium, that really isn't quite as important. So I would probably suggest adding a number of fish, then waiting a couple of weeks, then bringing a sample of water and a video down to the shop, getting us to test it, getting us to have a look at it, make sure everything's okay, then by all means get some more fish. So giving the bacteria several weeks to establish from the last set of fish being introduced is definitely a secret. So that would be point number 6. Now, point number 7 would be to ensure that none of the fish you get can fit inside the mouth of the biggest fish. Now, some fish have got quite big mouths, so if you're stupid enough to go and get a fish that fits inside that fish's mouth, then guess what? It'll probably get eaten. So, no matter what sort of fish you have, then all fish are basically opportunists. So if they have an opportunity to eat a fish that fits in their mouth, they will. If they're a predator like this fella, obviously they might rip the thing to pieces and eat it, but in most cases, with most fish, that is not the case. Most people don't have reef sharks. Most people have just got fish. And the fish won't rip their prey apart like a shark will. They'll basically just swallow it if they get an opportunist opportunity. So make sure that no fish fit in the mouth of the largest fish, and that would be point number 7. The next point is it is very important to watch what you clean your fish tank with. So magnets are a great idea, scourers are a great idea, but never go to the supermarket and just buy yourself a sponge or find a household sponge and clean your fish tank, because in several days your fish will often die, because most or all household sponges have got chemicals inside the sponges to stop mold growing in the sponge. These chemicals are poisonous to your fish and explain many unexplained fish deaths. The best way to clean your aquarium is get some polyfilter, cut a little pad of it and the size of your hand, and clean the inside of your tank. If you have a freshwater tank, you should never have to do it, because you should have enough catfish to keep it clean for you. But if you have a reef tank, a plant tank, or any other aquarium that you can't have catfish in, then you do need to clean your glass weekly, and polyfilter is the best, because the polyfilter will actually cling the algae to the side of the polyfilter, allowing you to remove the algae at the same time as the tank is being cleaned. Now, what number was I up to? Next thing is tap water. So number 9 is do not add straight tap water into your aquarium, because tap water normally contains chlorines, chloramones and other crap that's in the water to stop bacteria and bugs and microorganisms growing in the tap, growing in the water supply that goes to your tap. Now, these microorganisms are so the microorganisms that grow in your filter are also going to be killed by these by this chlorine and chloramone and other crap that's in tap water. So make sure that you pre-age using water ages. And a lot of people say, oh, I'll just leave it overnight. That gets rid of chlorine, it doesn't get rid of chloramone. Chloramone breaks down into chlorine and ammonia, and that can take a long time to come out. So don't be a tight ass, just buy some water ager and throw it in the water before you put it into the tank. Also understand that there are various types of water ages. There is mineral water ages such as Easy Life, and then there is chemical water ages, and various of them on the market. So the other thing about this is it's that a lot of tap water, they add the chlorine to a maximum minimum level. So therefore, you can go and do a water change or add a bit of water as a top up 4 or 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, and you can be okay. And then all of a sudden you do it one time and all your fish are dead. So the worst thing you can do is just leave the hose on if you've got a pond or something like that and chlorine flush it. But topping up your aquarium with straight tap water is risky, even though sometimes you might be okay, because it depends on when they've added the chlorine. If they have added the chlorine recently, all your fish may die. If they haven't added it for a while, you may actually be okay that time, but you're leaving it to luck, not to good management, because they don't put the same amount of chlorine in the water anymore. They will dose it high, then they'll dose it low, so the bugs don't get used to the chlorine that's in the water. Right, so that brings us to number 10. Now, number 10 is don't spray fly sprays or hair products or anything in a can. Be very careful spraying it around your aquariums, because especially nowadays with these open top aquariums, everyone wants the open top SMIC sort of look. But don't spray bloody fly spray, don't spray hair stuff, don't spray anything around your aquarium, because it is possible that you will get fly spray into your tank. Be careful with any of these sorts of products. The other thing to be careful with too, which I'm going to call point 11, because I've got a bit carried away now, and is be really careful with soap. Don't wash anything with soap. I've had cases, and watch soap on your hands. If you're going to go and wash your hands with soap, good for you, but make sure that you wash it well with water and towel dry it afterwards, so you do not have soap residue on your hands. I have had people come in and their whole tank load of fish have died right in front of them because they've just gone and washed their hands, and they thought it was good because their hand was soapy and the hand was super clean. Then they put their hand in the fish tank, they've had soap residue on their hands, and they've watched their fish die in front of their face. So there is 10 quick tips that I think everyone should know, no matter what sort of fish you keep. Anyway, subscribe to the channel, and if you've got any comments to add, make sure you put a little note down the bottom and get involved and subscribe to the channel. This fly's pissing me off.